Hey everybody, it's your host of the Sith Dominion, Dr. Dana Martin. And yeah, you're on the Sith Dominion. That just came out weird. Hold on, let's try this again. Hey everybody, welcome to the Sith Dominion. I'm your host, Dr. Dana Martin. With me tonight we have Cam, we have Debbie, and Grand Admiral Zane. It's going to be one for the books tonight, folks. A little technical difficulty getting in, but we are all in and we are all here present and accounted for. I can't wait. This is going to be fun. Tonight, we're starting our 3-part series on the prequels. We all know kind of stuff that happened with these characters from a dark side perspective because we've talked about these characters throughout the last few shows or over the last year. But now we're going to kind of put it all together and say, look, we've got the Phantom Menace, which probably should be named Rise of the Sith. I don't know. That's the name of our show tonight. Because that really is what it is. Yeah. So overall, before we kind of get into the rest of the show, I just want to know y'all's thoughts on the Phantom Menace, at least as it compared to the prequels. What was your feelings getting to see it? For you and I, Debbie, for instance, we didn't have Star Wars shows until then for like ever. So let's just kind of reminisce about that. Phantom Menace. Go. Who wants that?
Dude, growing up with the prequels, man, Phantom Menace is, love it. Seeing it for the first time in theaters. It's my first non-Disney Star Wars movie I was ever able to see, and it's just, it's great. I love it. I recently rewatched it when I built the pod race diorama Lego, and it was phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Awesome. Debbie?
Well, like you said, this was the first Star Wars movie we suffered through the dark times. And of course, my kids were at a ripe age. They'd grown up on the originals, the original VHS. We had went and seen all the special editions. We went to all the midnight showings, but this was the first one where we all got to experience the first time. And it was great. I just got done watching it. I enjoy it. I love Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
Oh, I love all the prequels. Revenge is my favorite, but yeah, I enjoy them all.
Agreed. Awesome. GAZ?
Honestly, as a kid, I think it was my favorite Star Wars movie. The Darth Maul fight was just crazy fun to watch.
Yeah.
Obviously, I grew up and matured, and we won't talk about my favorite Star Wars movie now until it comes up. But Phantom Menace is just, I've always loved it. I don't know, has a soft spot in my heart.
I'm scared for that day. I'm scared when we go over that day.
That's not my favorite movie.
Oh, thank God, bro. Holy, I'd have to get off the show. I'm not gonna lie. I'm
that was me when I posted.
I'm retiring, bro. He chooses Rise of Palpatine as his favorite movie. I'm out of here.
It's not my favorite.
Oh man.
Oh Jesus. Okay.
I with you, Debbie, like it was exciting. It was fun to kind of get to get into a theater and kind of get that nostalgia of seeing it, except for I never got to see one in the theater until then. So that was huge. It was my first Star Wars movie in a theater. I know, right? Go read the article.
So I'm like the ancient one here, right?
Well, no, it's just because my father broke promises. That's a whole nother episode. So I never got to see it. And I
am the ancient one here, so it's all right. It's okay.
Hey, I grew up on the original Trilogy VHS. I still have them. Shout out to my stepdad.
Heck yeah.
So
I think we have.
I'm talking. I seen it originally in theaters.
Oh yeah.
We had the silver
because I'm that old.
No, I think TPM for me, it was cool. The pod racing was freaking phenomenal. Love it. What's up, nerds? What's up, Andrew? Being able to kind of get into a new Star Wars story, but it was familiar in that we knew what the characters of Obi-Wan were and Anakin, this little kid. Now we're getting to see stuff that was only lore before then, right? Not my favorite of the prequels. It's kind of I don't know. We'll talk about it. Is it really? Twitch is up right now, working?
Yes, sir. I'm in it right now. I dropped the link in places.
Awesome. Thank you. So yeah, go check us out on Twitch also. Yeah, FU Facebook.
Twitch.tv/the Sith Dominion.
The Sith Dominion. The Sith Dominion. like I said.
Oh.
So yeah, it's not one of my favorites. It's one that I think they missed the mark on. Again, kind of the Sith story. We got a lot of Sithy type stuff. I think good balance compared to what we would have with the story centralized on Luke, Leia, and Han, or whatever in the original. So we did get a little more of that story. Just for me, not enough. But I'm picky and I'm a wuss when it comes to that stuff. Like I get angry and it's like, no, I need more of a dark side. But that's what
Just
we get
never enough for you.
It's not, and the thing is, all that crap was happening. We find out about Sifo Dyas, right, and all that was happening during this time. Like, it's amazing. It's cool.
Chewie.
What? Making the appearance. Hello, Chewie.
No,
We love Chewie.
no.
I heard you didn't have a good day, Mama. Ow! Smack. How you doing now?
Idiot.
That's great.
Damn
All right,
cat.
so Phantom Menace was a huge deal. Lucas got to do some things I think he really wanted to do in the other movies. Technology-wise, wasn't there, and he's talked a lot about that. And he got to expound upon the story and saga of Anakin Skywalker, which is what it's all about. It's not about Rey. It's not about Finn and what it's about. It really is about Skywalker saga. And the Skywalker saga was okay. My mic sounds spacey.
Hey, you think Disney knows that?
Disney doesn't know nothing. How's it sound now? Is it still spacey?
I think it's still.
Let me check. Oh, you know what? I figured it out. Watch this.
As long as you don't got that Mace Windu purple on it, we're chilling, bro.
Listen. Can y'all hear me now?
There you go.
Oh my gosh,
How's that?
he sounds so good.
So just so you know, I have been told that my on-stage singing voice for theater is like smooth, warm chocolate. Okay, whatever. That was kind of weird. So, yeah. No, this TPM's great. Ish. I just think always wanting more. And we did get to see some cool stuff. And we had never seen in live action a Zabrak ever. Dathomir and the witches is all a thing prior to all this. So we already knew about some of that lore as well. I wanted to move on to some news stuff. The trailer dropped for the last trailer, I guess, for whatever that show is.
Well, they
Skeleton
leaked the Mando trailer too. I mean, the whole thing got leaked, so security must have been lax at D23.
One of you guys can pull it up if y'all can share screen if you want. I'm gonna grab the.
Well, they're all
Skeleton
camera.
crew.
Yeah, it's not great quality. I don't know if it'd be great for the stream.
It's hard to understand too,
Oh,
at least
okay.
for me.
I could go find the link on X or Twitter, whatever it's called, and pop it in chat. People can go watch it.
Hold on. Ah, come on, for sake. Okay. I'll share mine real quick. I got one.
We got to work on
This
that
is
title,
a
though.
real one.
Jon Favreau.
What?
We got to work on that title for the Mandalorian and Grogu.
What's it called?
Such a bad title.
It's called that.
Mandalorian and Grogu?
Yeah.
What's it about? Oh, it's about
Uh,
Ahsoka. Oh, okay, of course. Yeah, of course.
It's actually just aired to the
Sorry,
Empire.
Dave, but come on, dude. You did this to yourself.
Yeah, just giving Luke's story to Ahsoka, but it's okay. I won't be hurt.
I am. All right, folks, we're gonna show you all this wonderful clip from Skeleton Crew on Disney Plus, coming December 3rd.
Let's go.
Let's go. Oh.
Tomorrow's test will set the course of your entire future.
you ever want to do anything exciting? Like what? What if we could go anywhere we want in the whole galaxy? A real adventure. No more pretend. I found something buried in the woods. What do you think it is?
It's like Stand By Me.
I think it's a lost Jedi temple. Hello? Be careful where you step.
We're getting Goonies vibes.
We're lost. Really lost.
Tis dangerous out there in space. Trust no one.
You're a Jedi.
Sorry, that was a little over. All right, Cam. Apparently, you're excited about this, huh?
Hey man, I mean, for once, dude, I think it looks pretty cool. I will say my more of my optimism comes from John Watts being a part of the project because I thoroughly enjoy his Spider-Man films. So yeah, I'm pretty stoked. Looks interesting. Looks different. Looks well-ish done, I'd say.
Looks not the acolyte.
Yeah, that's a low bar, but yeah, it's definitely not the acolyte.
Yeah,
No, none of the producers or directors have come out and just said just
stupid stuff.
stupid, just coming out word vomiting to the press, but that remains to be seen. And Jude Law.
And Jude Law. I mean, I like Jude Law. And people like Carrie Ann Moss and Soul, I can't remember his name, just couldn't save that show, and I hope that's not the case with this. I always hope that, right? But I'm feeling, and I don't know, like, can I relate to these lost kids? And maybe it's not gonna be for me. This show
No,
is
it's
not
not.
written for me.
No, it's not.
It's a little smarmy with that. No, it's not, Deb.
I'm just saying it's for
Are you gonna
kids.
watch it though?
Yes. I'm
You know
excited
I like
for
it.
it. It's got Goonies. It's got Lost
It's
in
Goonies.
Space. I mean, come on.
True.
It's for kids. An
Isn't it?
actual show for kids that's
So
not
was
animation.
okay. So was Resistance.
But the
Yeah.
stories get the. I
We
mean,
don't talk
it looks
about
good.
Resistance.
the story can be
Overall.
good, Dana, and even if the main characters are kids, you can like it. Like Stranger Things season 1 was good. That entire show is
I
about
agree.
kids. You
That
know,
whole show
Like,
is pretty okay, you know?
I
yeah.
love Stranger Things.
Better than Acolyte.
Amen, brother.
Again, that's a low bar, Zane.
It is a pretty low bar, but we're gonna keep emphasizing
Hey,
it.
you know how season 3 went. Billy carried it.
My goodness. Zane, what are your thoughts?
Honestly, I'd just say it's like, it looks very promising.
I'd written an article a year ago when we first got word of this, or when to this, or when they started working on it, and it was, I just didn't know if there was room in the stable, you know, with all these other things coming, that this would it really hit home with any audience, and I was mainly considering myself and all of us fans, but you're right, it's not for me. It's for another generation, and hopefully we can all agree whatever gets them on board to be exposed to and appreciate the other stuff. I can go with that. I just don't want it to be like campy and stupid, like the Ewok movie, like, or show. The Ewok show was just garbage. I don't want that to happen. I saw that happen. That wasn't for me. Wait, it was. I was that age. That was for me, and I knew it was garbage. We didn't have anything like that after all those debacles of the holiday special, the Ewok show, Droids cartoon on Saturday morning. they did a couple of things they tried to do, but I don't think anything ever really took, unless I'm misremembering.
I mean,
No. Well,
Appreciate you, Andrew.
yeah. What happened? You guys, can you
He's
guys
trying
not
to
share this?
he's trying to get us to 100, man.
Oh, nice.
Appreciate
guys-
you.
Show this on. Can you guys click that?
Yeah, I just did.
Oh, okay, thanks.
I also linked Dana's article. Y'all go check it out.
Yeah. Look at that. It looks all official. Geek News Now official. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I was a little more stoked about the Acolyte because of the premise. You're right. I'll still watch it at least once and give it a go. I do. I hope it's good, and I hope it does bring another generation. Let's see. Oh, there was one more thing on the outline. Maybe Skeleton Crew trailer. Nope. Okay. All right. So that's it for our news. We are still testing waters and doing some fun stuff with the show. Hopefully. And one of those is that the co-hosts, if they choose this week, they get to do a segment of their choosing. Hopefully kind of aligned with what we're talking about in the show. So for instance, I don't know what Cam's going to talk about. Cam, you have something to talk about?
Bro, I'm here to defend Jar Jar Binks' honor
Oh, shit.
to all.
Okay. So we can start with that because I honestly. All right, go ahead, man.
Look, man, I love Jar Jar as a kid, and I love Jar Jar now. I am thoroughly ready for Darth Jar Jar to bless our souls in a couple of months. I think a month. And there are certain. I mean, your boy does not get into power without Jar Jar. Simply does not happen without him, whether you like it or not. Well, it doesn't happen till the next episode, technically, but it doesn't happen without him, whether you want to admit it or not.
Little tiny pea-brained fish man.
Hey,
I think anyone could have filled into that spot. I don't think Jar Jar.
well, Jar Jar filled it in. It's canon, brother. Just like Rey's apparently a Skywalker, it's canon, brother. I mean, there ain't nothing we can do to change it. No matter.
Wow.
Jar Jar Binks is a key, integral part to the prequels, and I will stand on this.
Doesn't make him good.
One of my top,
make him a worthy
one of my
character.
top 3 characters throughout the saga.
So hold on, because you like
C-3PO.
Jar Jar Binks, or because of the importance to the how everything dominoed and went into play? Because of that, or because you adore Jar Jar Binks?
I mean, I thought he was hilarious when I was a kid. So every time I think of him, it thinks of a better time for Star Wars for me.
You know,
That's fair.
that your reasoning for Jar Jar is the same reason that C-3PO with a battle droid for a body is also integral to Star Wars. He saved a couple Jedi.
Amen, brother.
Yeah. But does that mean
think
that
that's a reach.
C-3PO with a battle droid body should be in the Hall of Fame of Star Wars? No.
Hey.
Die, Jedi scum! What am I saying? Yeah, no, come on.
It was funny.
That's for tomorrow. We'll talk about that tomorrow. Next Tuesday. We'll talk about that scene for sure. I don't know, Cam. I'm honestly, I'm open-minded. What are your top 3 things that you feel Jar Jar Binks brings to the table as far as a character within the meat of the story? And yes, I get it. He was, small-minded and easily persuaded.
He's the comic relief, just like the same thing like C-3PO and R2-D2 were the comic relief in A New Hope. Yoda was in Empire Strikes Back, and the Ewoks. I like the Ewoks personally. No, not it's like Jar Jar, not everybody's cup of tea, but I mean, he plays an integral part because, like, Babu Frick, Rise of Skywalker, probably my favorite thing out of that movie. You know what I mean? Like, I like the comic relief because when I watched Jar Jar, I was a small child, and he made me laugh. And I mean, sure, could anybody have been filled in? Yeah, but like, I mean, he's a cool character. They don't flesh him out as much in the Clone Wars as other people, but I mean, he's around there. You kind of know his presence is around. But I mean, Palpatine simply doesn't come into power without Jar Jar. So,
and he had to have that comic relief because of all the political stuff in this first movie. Now, personally, when I was watching it with my kids, I found him annoying, but now I laugh every time he's on. The kids thought he was funny, and that's what he was there for, the kids.
mm-hmm.
And you had to have something to break up all the political seriousness of it.
And it is a very heavy movie if you really understand what's happening in those moments and the depth and breadth of the midichlorians or whatever. All of these things for us, you, Debbie, right? Like, we've waited for this, and now it's all weird. But I understand your point. There's this kind of immensity to these moments, and you kind of need to be brought out of it. And I guess him putting his face in the connecting ray was funny. I laugh at that, but
well, and two, like, I don't know how important it might be, but like, when Qui-Gon makes contact with Anakin and he kind of reports back, and he's bringing him back to the ship with Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan says, "Did we pick up another useless life form?" In referencing their encounter with Jar Jar earlier, and it's like, well, no, this kid's probably the chosen one, and in the end, Jar Jar is not a useless life form in terms of the story. So, it's an interesting kind of parallel there.
Oh man, yeah, that just hit me. Who brokered the peace? Who brought them together? Actually, between Naboo and the Gungans. Wow.
Yeah. And it's pretty. I mean, it's one of the more interesting species set pieces. I mean, it's the first one that everybody sees. You know what I mean? Like live action too. So,
Zane, what are your thoughts?
I just think they overdid it with him, and that just makes him a bad character. And I don't think there's anything wrong with saying that. I think it's valid that he did do some things. But, I mean, it's just...
No joke, really. He did something.
I just noticed your name.
Fantastic.
I just think he's, like a bumbling idiot, and I don't think we needed that in Star Wars.
So when we were watching the Acolyte, those first couple of episodes, and I said I made up a drinking game, and it's like getting Yord every time. He's just an idiot. I had that game growing up too, and it was getting Jar Jar. Every time he just was stupid, like to where I literally was like, I cannot handle even on screen looking at the incompetency. I just am enraged, and I want to throttle him. Whew. Maybe that's the dark side talking. Don't listen to me.
No, it was definitely the alcohol.
No. So we had a shorter show last week. And I started on that bottle of wine literally 5 minutes before we started the show. So in an hour and a half, let's just say Dana was not able to keep all the wine in his body that last Tuesday. Okay, moving on. I started like a 3 today. We're golden. No, really. Awesome. Anything else on this Jar Jar? I too am looking forward to the Darth Jar Jar, seeing how they play with that in the Lego.
I'm not gonna lie to you, dude. That project's probably gonna be the best Star Wars project we've gotten since Mandalorian season 1. Not gonna lie to you at all. I'm looking forward to that. I might watch it twice.
Maybe we're gonna have
times.
to devote an entire show to just Darth Jar Jar.
Dude, I got a Dark Millennium Falcon. I'm saving the build till that drops, dude.
I cannot wait. You should totally record that build.
I'm game. Might be
and just talk
5
about
hours.
How wonderful Jar Jar is.
Hey, they got your girl Darkside Ray in there. Hopefully they don't have the teeth. But,
okay. I will wager. No, I've got Darth Malik. I might want that Darkside Ray. Wait, you got the Malik.
I already have Malik.
Yeah.
Charlo, buy the dark Falcon form. Actually, chat, donation. We're buying.
Donations, subscribe.
Yeah, like, subscribe, follow on Facebook. I
Yeah.
mean,
So Dana has had some ideas I haven't talked to the rest of the crew about, but we're gonna once we're done with our new rebranding logos and fun stuff, we're gonna get some giveaway stuff, t-shirts, stickers, all kinds of cool stuff, so you can spread the word and wealth about the Sith Dominion. And we'll do some contests, like if we're looking for however many people to help get folks signed up or whatever. I don't know. We'll figure it out. And also, we'll be throwing up polls and all the cool, fun stuff that you're used to seeing with us. But we haven't done in a couple weeks because I'm tired. But we will be doing those things as well and try to get your opinions and your engagement as well. But yeah, merch store. Oh, I can't wait. I already have a couple shirts. Y'all seen them, me wear them. But where are we at with the logo, man?
sorry, she was making my logo first, so she's working on it.
Cool. Just kidding. We are going to be talking about Darth Maul a little bit. So in an entire episode devoted to Darth Maul and several episodes where we talk a little about Darth Maul really is kind of the centerpiece, the face of the Sith, right, in this. And I can't think of a better example of pain and anger and hatred leading to the dark side, just being encompassed by it at that point in his life. And then with Darth Maul and Zane, our resident lore master, did some things. You look like Zen just then from Overwatch. Zane went into, what do we got? We got some Maul lore.
We got some Maul lore for you.
Maul
lore. So we all know about Maul. He was born on Dathomir, right? And fun fact about him, although he lived with the Night Sisters for a bit, he wasn't raised by them. In fact, less than a year after he was born, his mother actually encountered Palpatine and begged him to save Maul from being a Night Brother, which, if you don't know, is just a slave, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So after Palpatine,
hey, hold on. For those that don't know, Night Brothers are slaves to
the Night Sisters.
There we go. Okay,
there you go.
The witches.
Good evening, Josiah.
What's up, Josiah?
Hey,
what's up, brother?
What's up, brother? So basically, after Palpatine could sense the Force, he's like, "Screw it, I'll take you in." And around, I was about a year after moving Maul to Mustafar, Palpatine got the okay from Plagueis to train him as a Sith assassin, not a Sith Lord. There is a distinction, right? So during this childhood, before he had really come into anything, there were a lot of times where Maul was put through torture by Sidious, right? Whether Sidious was just throwing rocks at him until he could throw them back, when he was like 5 or 6, or
I wish I could throw
he was
rocks at my 5-year-old son.
Lowered into this vat of acid. He isn't actually burned, but he was supposed to escape. This is mental and physical torture. But in doing so, he was really powerful in the Force, and he had that fire. You know what I mean? And at around 10, he went to an academy on Orsis, and that academy is where he learned how to be an actual assassin. And during this time, Sidious told him to, no Force. You don't get caught. Well, he got caught. He got caught around 6-7 years later. So, he was in there for a while, and he knew what he was doing, which is good. So at 17, once he was taken off the planet, Sidious, for his last test, took him to this random outer world planet, which no one really cares about the name, right? And here he was forced to live on his own on this planet while assassin droids were being sent after him. Right now, that's some torture, right? After a month, Palpatine came back and he's like, "I'm challenging you to a duel." Maul loses like instantly. I mean, you have this weakened Maul versus Sidious, and in this, one final act of defiance is what I like. The big word I read. Maul went, lunged at Sidious, and bit him in the arm, and then spat the blood in like at him. Right now, as Maul is like preparing to die, he's like, "This is it." Sidious takes a lightsaber and strikes him down, but it's a training saber. Sidious then laughs and says, "This is exactly what I needed you for." And this is what, like, this encounter right here is where Maul grew to hate Palpatine, right? Mm-hmm. Which basically fired the rest of his entire history as a Sith Lord. Mm-hmm. And right on that day, Sidious, what caused Maul to bite Sidious was like, "You failed. I have another apprentice, and we're actually just going to kill you, and he's going to take over." Right. And so after this, Sidious revealed, "I don't have an apprentice. I just wanted to get you."
Just messing with you.
"You passed my test. I now pronounce you Sith Lord Darth Maul." And that's it. That's how I became a Sith Lord. By
just
biting
like
him in the arm.
I just can't imagine a grown person, Zabrak, what have you, like just chewing on another person.
He was 17.
How old was he in the Phantom Menace?
I'm pretty sure he would have been around what? That was
like mid-20s, 30s?
32?
Like 20, 25 maybe?
Shadowhunter was 32 BBY. Yeah, 32 BBY, and he was born 54. So he would have been in like 20s.
Mid-20s.
Yeah.
So in Phantom Menace, you got this mid-20-year-old Zabrak that's just been trained as an assassin without the Force, and now you've included the Force. Do you believe Palpatine was pretty damn confident with Maul as his apprentice?
100%. I don't think Maul accounted for Qui-Gon or Obi-Wan.
And so I guess my biggest question has always been, if he was able to sense the future so well, Palpatine, and foresee these things, how is it that, like, why would he not have, I don't know. I don't think he anticipated like Obi-Wan killing Darth Maul. Is that an agree, or do you disagree? Anyone? That wasn't part of the plan. So then the question becomes, at the end of Phantom Menace, there's always two. No more, no less, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And they're looking at Palpatine, but at that point, does he already have Dooku? Or is he alone?
I think Dooku shows up in between Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones. I don't know if you could see him, but I thought it was a
Fate of the Jedi or Fate or
Tales of the Jedi.
Yes, thank you. Was it Tales of the Jedi or Tales of?
It was Tales of the Jedi.
Tales of the Jedi.
Yeah. He turns. I mean, he was already going down that path, but he turns kind of when he hears about Qui-Gon. Qui-Gon's death. He turns right there at the beginning because, he confronts Yaddle, and of course we don't see Yaddle.
Oh, yeah.
In episode 2.
Mm-mm.
He had been doing little small stuff for Palpatine, though, right? Before that, before he officially turns.
Right.
So it seems to be a little bit of a pattern that almost before the immediate end of one apprentice, you already got someone lined up ready to rock. If you're the master.
And he's only using Dooku until Anakin becomes of age to where he can really use him.
And so this is something I just don't know. And maybe in the novelization we get more of that. I haven't read any of the novelization of the movies. But does it speak to Palpatine meeting Anakin? Does he believe he is the one? Does he feel the way that some of the Jedi do? Or is he like, I'll just keep an eye on him, I'm not sure? Or does
we
he
will
already
watch
know?
your career with
Mm.
great interest.
Right.
If
So
If we're
Because the
talking
Sith have their
legends,
own version of the chosen one too.
Mhm.
and
so- yeah.
go ahead.
I was
Zane.
saying, if this is strictly legends, like I'm pretty sure it was confirmed that Palpatine manipulated the midichlorians and Shmi Skywalkers. Was that
No.
not? Was that
No.
the canon one? There's
That
a comic
was
strip that
a
has it.
like a
It was in the comics, either legends or canon.
yeah, it was a vision that Anakin had.
But it's
And it was kind of like you know how the Indians have like their spirit vision quest things. That's what this was for Anakin. But it was like all his fears coming, for him coming true. But yeah, even the writers of the comics said, no, it was just Anakin's vision, or Vader's vision, I guess.
didn't Plagueis visit Tatooine looking for Anakin after when he learned about, like, he felt something in the Force, right, when he was doing his experiments and fails and whatnot, and then the Force counteracts with Anakin. Legends, of course. I'm fairly certain that
I don't know.
It's been
fairly
so
certain
long
that
since
happens.
I've read that book.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've always felt that
I think he did.
Go ahead.
I don't know. I think he did.
I'm looking it up right now.
So there you go, folks. No matter how prepared you think you are, sometimes you go off the rails and you got to make sure what you're saying is factual. Well, but is it canon factual, or is it legends factual, or is it fan factual?
I think Palpatine has always got a backup plan. He's got a plan B. He's got a plan C. I mean, no matter what happens, because we even seen it in this movie where, okay, that didn't go the way it was supposed to, but he switches gears and does something else. I mean, well, I don't know if he was just playing the Neomodians, but there were several times where he says about Queen Amidala about, well, this is a strange move for her. It's too aggressive.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so I don't know if he was really thinking that, like, what the hell is she doing? This isn't like her, or he was just playing the Neomodians. Who knows?
Can they?
You don't know with that guy. You just don't know.
And okay, just sidebar for old Ian McDermott. I mean, that dude just kills that role. Wonderful actor, a stage actor, amazing. Character actor. He's great in Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, comes to mind, several movies. But yeah, having him reprise his role, how important was that to you? And I'm going to ask, this is Debbie, how important was that to you that we had the actual Emperor back?
I thought it was great, but here is the funny thing, because of course my kids knew, right? Because they grew up on this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But there was people in the audience, like during Qui-Gon's funeral, and Yoda says, always two there are, no more, no less. And Mace is like, but who was killed, the apprentice or the master? And it pans right over to Palpatine, and then you can hear people behind us going, well, I wonder which one it was. Who was it? And I'm like, God. It's in front of your face, people. And my kids are looking at me like, did they just say that?
Well, in all fairness, the first version of Empire did not have him as the actor. It was woman actress,
Right.
and it was done up
But
all.
they changed it in the special edition.
They did.
So.
They did.
But it's just like people didn't. Yeah. I mean, his name was Emperor Palpatine.
Yeah.
How could you not make the
Emperor
connection?
It's the same thing. Yeah. Look at this picture. Yeah, it's a trash can. Look at this. It's a rebel insignia. It's the same thing. No, I really appreciate that. I think when we have an opportunity to look at the lore from different looking at everything, but from a different generational perspective, because you guys grew up on it, you knew who Palpatine was the moment he walked in, right? But yeah, a newer generation may not have known that, and maybe, oh my gosh, is that what? No doubt, once episode whatever 4, 5, 6 comes along. Oh, and somehow he returns. But sorry, Cam, I had to do that. No, he doesn't. Anyways, well, that was good. Maul is one of my favorite characters. I think we did a show, and we even said we could probably do more shows just on him and different parts of his journey. His journey was sick. I love the whole he's Cephasus, he's having to roll the stone up the hill. Pretty Prince Jr. talks about that, and he knows that's his role. Like he gets to a point in his journey where he's like, I know what I'm supposed to do, and this sucks, but I know I got a part to play. You see that with him and Ezra. Oh my God, like all of that bit, which isn't a part of the Phantom Menace, but man, all of that stuff with Ezra. And then, of course, his actual end, as far as we know, with Obi-Wan. I'm just going to hold off on the whole Black Sun stuff. I think that, isn't it the Black Sun? The criminal
Crimson
organization?
Dawn.
Crimson Dawn.
He
Black
works at the
Sun.
Black Sun, I thought. He
I
took
thought-
down the Black Sun.
Is that what it was? I don't know. I knew that there was a connection between him and the Black Sun. And no, he didn't have a connection to Corsac. Anyways, I think that's a cool piece that could be explored. Do you think, and we'll leave this because it's not really Phantom Menace, but at the end where you had Kira talking to Maul, do you think that was just a ha, and there really isn't any meat to it, that there may be some other movie series, limited run something with Maul, Kira, Han, who knows?
I think there would have been if it hadn't got the backlash that it did,
Yeah.
which is sad.
I hope
Because now I see people, on Facebook or Tickety Talk, they're just now watching it.
Yeah.
I think
And they're like, I don't understand the hate, because it's a fun movie. It's a
It's a good movie.
backstory. It's an origin story. And then when you get that little surprise there at the end, it's like, holy shit, this is going to be great. But no, we don't get that because,
it was it was the Last Jedi. It suffered from the Last Jedi backlash, and then
Yeah.
being released, I think, between Deadpool and something else too. And I think when the last
it was released in May,
yeah,
and Last Jedi came out in December. It was just so close together for my taste.
yeah, when when you have a movie that shits on your hopes and dreams, you really probably aren't looking forward to the next film. Especially when people wanted, Han to, Harrison Ford to come back, for some stupid reason or whatever, even though it's a prequel origin story. But
the casting was cool. I don't know.
The
I just want
the casting was good. He did a good job. I hope they don't do this deep fake garbage nonsense with the Mandalorian stuff.
How would Darth Maul work though if we were to see him? Because they had the original actor play him
Ray Park.
physically.
Ray Park.
They had Whitwer like vocal.
Voice him.
I feel like that'd just be a little more difficult.
Yeah,
Well, but not in the first one. It was Ray's voice in the first episode, in the Phantom Menace.
No,
Yeah,
it was
but-
not.
Are you sure?
It was not. It was somebody else. I can't remember the name.
What's his name didn't take over until it was animated.
Right. Sam Witwer talks about it because he says for the animated show, he took the other voice actor, I can't remember his name. He took that voice and then he kind of added his own little thing in there to come up with the Maul voice for the animated series. So Ray Park did not voice it.
The voice was Peter Serafinovich.
Oh yeah, well Peter Serafinovich.
Yeah, see, that's why I didn't even try.
Peter. From Deadpool. Peter. No.
Everybody has their Peter.
Everyone
Hey,
has
Peter.
their Peter.
Watch
Hey,
cornhole, bud. Office Space. I didn't make that up. So, Darth Maul, would you say for not seeing any Star Wars for so long, do you feel the fans got a good taste of dark side fun that they had never seen before?
Hell
Would we
yes,
agree?
because he was scary looking and he just, I mean, without even saying anything to Qui-Gon or Obi-Wan, he instilled fear, just his look and the yellow eyes. And of course, he's red and black and he's got horns. And, we ain't never seen anything like that. And yeah.
No discussion of what is your purpose here. No, it was like, we'll handle this. Like they just knew, like they felt it. And both of them did. I think when we see him jump off of his in the middle of the desert, honey, dunk, and you see the come on. I will say, as much as it's not one of my favorites, that scene in the sand was absolutely mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. What was the saber crap we had, right? We had like old Obi-Wan Kenobi. And I've seen that, but it was brilliant what we got. And I know there's the extended version, and I think we played it here before. It's super cool. The fan piece, really good. But everything that was done in that scene, or everything that Obi-Wan did, was intentional and on purpose to lead to him becoming way more powerful by being able to be with Luke through this time remotely, if you will. Remote work only. So when I think about how well it's written in George and these sorts of things, that's what I like to think of whenever I think of TPM, and just there's not a lot of dialogue in those moments. The acting is good, the direction is good, and the writing of the blocking of those scenes is really, really good. And that when you hear Duel of the Fates anywhere, anytime, the first thing you think of is Darth Maul, and the next thing you think of is he's fighting two people at once with a double-sided sword. Like, oh my god, it's like the quarterstaff from Bugs Bunny. It's actually a buck and a quarterstaff, but yeah, that was so fun. What was y'all? So you guys growing up on what we grew up on, what were y'all's thoughts, you two, on this when you first see Maul and that saber fight?
I just thought it was cool.
Was there anything that you could compare it to?
I think that's why I stuck with Star Wars, unironically, was because it was something like that. It was just so cool and unmatched in normal media.
What about Duel of the Fates? Number one Jar Jar fan. How did you feel about that selection and it being paired so well? Well, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna tell you it was good.
I mean, when the other side of his lightsaber ignites for me every single time, even to this day, it sends like a chill down my spine, even though I know it's coming. I mean, it's just no words, just they're throwing hands. Like no words need to be said. The door opens, he drops his hood. They look at each other, and it's all just on from there. And I love every single bit of it. I mean, I know that the fights in the original trilogy aren't the best due to the technological limitations. But even, I mean, when I watched that as a kid, the what I saw as a kid was what we see with like the New Hope remaster. Like, so watching the Phantom Menace was just otherworldly to me.
So when he takes his robe off or his cloak off, and he's wearing this real form-fitting dark Jedi, like we've never seen that either. It's a dark Jedi. Oh, you know what I'm saying? The Sith robes, like we never saw that ever before either. We saw some stuff in the comics because I think at that time, or right before, like we had Dark Horse had a couple of series, and so we did see it. But you know what I'm saying? Live action, that freaking I wanted to be freaking Darth Maul so bad. If there was anyone that was gonna bounce Darth Vader off the top, it would have been Maul. He's feeling having high stakes in the OT that made saber fights more impactful. Rather cool. Yeah. And that's a great point because we know what the stakes are in those movies. In the Phantom Menace, I mean, we kind of get it that Anakin needs to be protected, but there's this tension. Now, that's a great point. The stakes in that Qui-Gon knows. Qui-Gon's he gets it. Darth Maul gets it just in the fact of we have to stop this because that's what Papa Palpatine said. But I believe truly he had that bigger vision. So when we talk about Qui-Gon and that he may have had some quote unquote gray tendencies, whatever, he wasn't the ideal Jedi. And we can all agree. And he knew it. But he made no apologies for it because he was his own person. I need to understand, and it's my limitation. We had people like Mace Windu, Cam, that, you know, messed with forms and had Vapad and walked the tightrope of dark side and all these things. I did not feel, while not wholly subscribing, it seemed, to the Jedi Order, he did do what he was supposed to, but he wasn't drinking the Kool-Aid. I want to know what y'all think about that. Do you think Qui-Gon wasn't drinking the Kool-Aid, and do you think he had thoughts of leaving the Order?
I think he would have left the Order if he survived. He would have let Obi-Wan, take the trials, and he knew Obi-Wan was going to pass, and then he would have done whatever he felt the Force needed him to do to make sure Anakin brings balance.
Would you say he's a Force follower or a Jedi follower?
Force follower,
Yeah.
which is what the Jedi in theory should be.
Right, but do you think we could agree that they're not wholly a Force following community as they maybe once were, or what the ideology is?
No, I mean that's kind of the whole point of why they fail.
It kind of sucks, man, because I think we had some really cool characters that really kind of came off kind of smug. And so I'm gonna bring up a guy that we talked about a couple weeks ago that I feel like got the shaft. We meet Mundi in the Phantom Menace. What are you doing? Oh my God! What are you?
I changed his name.
What? Oh, Debbie just went offline. What?
Debbie's gone rogue.
Not a fan?
No, he's a jerk.
All right, we got the Debbie rant. Okay, tell me what it is about him. In the Phantom Menace, he's on the council. He's a Jedi Master. I don't know. I couldn't gather that, and whatever. I don't remember. In the Acolyte, I don't think he was a Master yet. He was just a Jedi. But I mean, what is it about him in the Phantom Menace? Did you already not like him, Deb?
Yeah. No, I didn't like him.
Why?
Whatever. I don't know. It's just like, well, him and Mace both kind of come off smuggish.
Mm-hmm.
kind of holier than thou. And yeah, he doesn't say much, but he's given looks to Mace and Yoda, and I don't know. I just didn't like him, or maybe it's the shape of his head. I don't know.
I was about to say, is it that kind of weird ponytail thing? He's like a hippie, and you're done with that. You cut your hair.
I don't know.
Sorry, Zane.
I just didn't like him. I didn't like him in the book. Well, the books, it made me even dislike him more in the books. So, yeah, I don't know. It's just when you see somebody, and especially when you meet somebody in person, sometimes you just get a vibe that they're an asshole.
Yeah,
and it doesn't take much. So there you go.
I mean, he is
Sometimes
a
you
little
just
smug.
know. It don't take much. You just know. In that split second of them opening their mouth for 2 words or a sentence or whatever.
Because he went like this. And you're like, this dude, look at him. God, I didn't like the way he went. Like he's about to say some shit. I already know it. This guy.
And what about the droid attack on the Wookiees? I don't know. I just didn't like him.
Sith in 1,000 years.
In a millennial. Yeah, but they didn't know Bane survived throughout that whole time. They didn't know that. They didn't know he had an apprentice, Zana, however you say her name. They didn't know it then. So
do we go back to the darkness hiding the light? How powerful was Sidious? Not Palpatine, Darth Sidious. That him and Plagueis were able to do what they were able to do to get him into position to go in. Like, I just seeing that as the whole Sith architect and Palpatine, I'm still amazed at, yes, Lucas, great job writing this, but the way that all of this had to happen, it couldn't have happened any other way. By force, it wouldn't have happened. There were too many Jedi and not enough of them. It had to happen this way. And through the rule of 2, they were able to accomplish this because they could live in the shadows and become more powerful. And like you said, Zane, and clarified, Sith assassin to start, because there is only one master and one apprentice. Now, fast forward to a couple weeks ago when we had the acolyte.
Oh, why we gotta talk about this, man?
I know. I'm sorry, man. I have to because there's some connection here
No,
into the Phantom Menace.
We don't have to talk about it.
We don't talk about
the last episode we saw Plagueis in the shadows.
Oh,
and I think we can all agree. I just don't imagine him being that creeper looking. I know in the comic there was a little of that. I didn't read the Plagueis book. Zane, you did. And I don't know, was there any examples of him snooping around like that and sneaking around?
Not in that exact manner.
Yeah,
No.
it just
It was more in the
seemed
manner of what
weird.
Bane said to Zana.
Yeah.
What was that? I'm sorry.
It was more in the manner of what Bane said to Zana, where he hides out just away from the Jedi view, and he instills the fear to keep people silent and also spread rumors like they should have.
But that's quote unquote in the shadows. That's not creeping.
Yeah.
I mean, it did not. So then you say, okay, well, is all of this a part of? Yes, Anakin is still the chosen one. They've said that. No. You think that it does diminish that? No. See, and I'm with you, Debbie.
I think of what happens in the sequel trilogy diminishes it personally.
So how special was that kid? Let's say that there was no quote unquote M count. The way that we learned it was not anyone could try to learn about the Force, but other people were just more attuned to it than others. And you could train to a specific level, not leveling, but to a specific level of force force adeptness, based on your attuning to the force, tuned to the force, whatever that is. And so when, oh my gosh, what just happened? I don't know. So when you're attuned to the force in that way, I lost it. Fuck it. I don't care. What were we just saying? I just lost it. All the flashies, you guys can't do the flashies. It throws me off. Oh. Yep. Where was it? Anyone? Help me.
When you're
All right.
attuned with the Force.
When you're attuned with the force. So that being said, there is no level. What I mean is you're able to get to your peak. Just like as an athlete, there are some things you're never going to do at 4'10". You're probably never going to dunk a basketball. However, you can level up your own skill to a specific point in basketball that you could be very effective doing other things, right? And I feel like the force is like that, the way we grew up on it. But it's not. That's like what you guys knew as the force was not your daddy's force. If that makes sense. Would you agree or disagree that they've cheapened it by making it something you're born with, a specific level of midichlorians?
Not entirely. I think they just made it from something that was more inclusive to something more exclusive. And I don't think that cheapened everything. I think that made it to where the Jedi were more valuable because of how less there were of them.
Mm-hmm. So taking the mysticism out of it and making it more scientifically based, to me, cheapens the line, "We will not be swayed by your sorcerer's ways, Lord Vader." So when I think of that line in Star Wars, I mean, first of all, the set on that dude to freaking challenge Vader like that, kudos. I don't have that sort of set to be able to say those things to Darth Vader. I value my heir. So I feel like when you take that mysticism out and scientificify it, then now you've not necessarily, chipping's not the right word. I don't know. It's just, it's devalued in some way that leaves something's missing.
Well,
I
I don't know if you remember this, Dana, back in the day, when George introduced the midichlorians. People were pissed that he did that.
I do remember that.
They were like, why would you? I don't know if scientific was the word for it, but why would you use this midichlorian thing to justify why the Jedi are like they are? Why not leave it as a mystery? The sorcery and the rumors and just leave it a mystery. A lot of people were really ticked off when he did that.
I felt it took away. Just again, I know that Skeleton Crew's not made for me, and I know that he doesn't give two shits about what I think about his show, so his movies. But for me, it took away a little, because I felt like maybe if I worked hard enough and tried hard enough, I might be some form, fashion, way. Maybe I can move my wine glass to my mouth and take a drink without using my hands or anyone else's hands. But now that you've explained it, where if I get a count done, like a blood cell count, well, I already know I can't. Okay, cool. Awesome. I won't even try now. Great. So it just felt kind of like, well, you're either destined to be one or you're not. F you. But that's not the way I felt in the books. You had characters like Karan Horn, who were not exceptional Jedi, but Jedi sensitive or Force sensitive nonetheless. Were in the movies, and we know that now through the book. They're legends, but he is a canon character. He was in Return of the Jedi. The people like that were Leia was super power, but it's not trained. Like, so she could have Leia Poppins, whatever. We're not talking about that piece. We're talking about
that, please.
just the stuff in the books where she was trained as a Jedi, and sacrificed a lot. Anyways, I digress. It just seems that when you introduce that piece, it changes things, and then you start to look at how do you fill in the gaps. Why is Palpatine so powerful? Well, the first story we got, like you said, Debbie, about this midichlorian stuff when it came out was, oh, well, the synth kyber crystal helps with this attuning to the midichlorian and helps his pseudo midichlorian count, which is why he's so powerful. Shut up. Like, he's just a badass. Just let him be a crazed, mad Sith Lord that wants to take over the freaking universe. Why can't you just have that? Why?
Yeah, not everything has to be explained. Leave it a mystery.
That's what I'm trying to say. But I wasn't saying that. Thank you, Debbie.
That's why I'm here.
Holy cow. I'm getting pissed. And I don't need to get pissed. It just,
Keep
I
it going,
like
keep
the
it going.
Phantom Menace to a point. What happens is when we see misses, it's frustrating. And I really think that's a miss with the midichlorians. But more so a miss, and this will be the last point for the Phantom Menace for now. I really feel like while they brought in the hard to see this boy's future, lots of pain, like all the things that the Jedi were notorious for doing, making decisions for others. What do we believe that the Force, the dark side of the Force with Palpatine was such that he really did hide his intentions, hide who he was, hide so effectively? Was he that powerful, or were they just that heads up their asses?
Combination of both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, hiding in plain sight. Come
Yeah.
on. Right? I mean, they were having meetings with this guy. I mean, on a daily basis, but practically. But I think the combination of once the Clone Wars starts in the next episode, then they're just so spread thin that, and they're distracted because, everybody's all fighting this planet. Nobody's paying attention. Nobody's paying attention to the fact that he's manipulating Anakin practically on a daily basis.
Yeah.
He's the one I don't know if it's in the books. It's been so long since I've read the books, but I think he's the one that was given Anakin dreams of his mother and of Padme. And I mean, he just manipulated it all. And knowing him, he probably arranged to have Anakin's mother kidnapped by the Tuscans.
Well, what did he do to Darth Maul? So if he'll do those things to Darth Maul, that's a damn good point, Debbie. What would he have done to make sure Anakin followed the path he needed him to follow?
Mm-hmm.
So here's here's another thought. If he was able to him getting Anakin on his side was the only way that he knew he could survive. Agreed? Because he knew how powerful Anakin was. Because he could sense it. He was super powerful in the Force himself. How is it? How is it that we can have these characters, and this will be one for you probably, Cam. How is it that we can have this character development, this connection to this character, Sheev Palpatine, and not all other expanded universe, all the things aside, just Sheev Palpatine alone? What we learn in the Phantom Menace We get it. He's the we know this. During the thing there, how do you not know this? I think to Debbie's point, he had his cloak on, he was a hologram, but how do you not know this is the guy?
The
So-
chin gives it away.
The chin gets it. So this Palpatine versus what we get in the final 3 episodes of the sequels. Is it first of all, do we know for sure that's a clone of him, that his essence has been transferred into, right?
I don't
Rise
give a
of
shit,
Skywalker?
honestly.
Yeah. It
No.
says in the book.
Yeah, he's a clone. I mean, it's his essence or whatever that's been transferred into his consciousness. Yeah.
Pretty
So-
good idea, honestly.
So as powerful as he seemed in Rise of Skywalker, how does that compare to who we're seeing in the Phantom Menace working from the shadows? I really want to know your thoughts on this guy that we first meet, and finally, apparently he's now dead. That those two people, I don't believe are the same, and I don't think you believe that either.
Why are you putting me through this?
Because I know you have good thoughts on this that that are constructive and not just F this guy.
I mean, I think the Palpatine we see in Revenge of the Sith is ultimate final form Palpatine, but I mean, Phantom Menace, I think from what I know in Legends, it is a special thing that only Palpatine can do. Like, I think it's like force shielding or force clouding, because he's able to hide his eyes. And he's able to do similarly to what Jake Skywalker did and like cut himself off from the force, but not like fully, you know.
And for those of you that don't know, Jake Skywalker
is the
He's a
Skywalker in
real
the last
Skywalker.
is the Skywalker in the Last Jedi. But anyways, and then that fetus Palpatine, whatever we get in Rise of Skywalker, is, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think they're very comparable personally. He's just as dumb, honestly, because he makes the same mistake that gets him scarred in Revenge of the Sith and just doesn't stop shooting his almighty powerful Thor, God of Thunder, Force Lightning.
That's 3 times, right?
Yeah, yes, 3 times.
I just
Third time. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me, no, what? Yeah.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on you. Fool me 3
No, I
times.
mean, and
I
just an
really
idiot.
can't believe you're putting me through this, man. I mean, you're
I'm
really
sorry,
kinda,
man, but you
you're
know,
really kind of killing my vibe here. Not
the
gonna
guy
lie.
that we got there in Phantom Menace is not the dude that we get later. And,
No, I
we
agree.
just- and it's really disheartening from a fan of Palpatine and what he was able to do. The Force masking is what you were talking about, where he can hide his face. Luke uses that in Legends. I used it in the Sith Dominion roleplay, of course. It's a great tool, but ultimately, when we see, I like that you brought that up at the end, where they're literally looking at him like, "How do you not know this?" I'm concerned for the future of the Jedi in this movie, watching it the first time, because one, I know the Empire's coming, but more so than that, I had no idea just how not manipulative, influential. The bureaucrats were already on his side before he even stepped in, and that was a piece for whoever has read. If there's mention of that, because when he jumps, I mean, he's like, and now here come the bureaucrats. When he's walking Padme through this, right? Like, he already knows all these dudes. Like, he's already a senator. He's a politician. That's all we gotta say.
Well, he grew up in it.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
From
he's
12.
Yeah, he's grown up in that all his life.
So in the Grand Senate, I believe he truly already had those connections with those bureaucrats. That it was something that was being orchestrated, not just with Jar Jar, who was pivotal in the next
Thank
movie.
you.
We'll talk more about it. You're welcome.
I appreciate that. I feel like
welcome.
you're just saying that because you put me through the last 5 minutes, but it's okay.
But here's the other piece about the Phantom Menace that I want us to tread a little lightly and what? No way. Guess who's gonna be our guest next week, y'all? Oh yeah.
Darth Vader.
No. I just posted that right
For the
there.
love
Guess
of
who's
God, I
gonna
hope
be
Palpatine's not coming back.
Palpatine's coming back
Again.
before time.
again?
I'm retiring.
Are you? No, I love the fact that that they are able to make it to show it on screen his adeptness to be a politician. So as we've talked about before, you can't just walk in and just take over shit. You gotta work it from the inside. He's the Sith architect. Everything he is doing is for purpose. Nothing is wasted. And you, as a person in his inner circle, have to understand you are a resource that is a limited resource and non-renewable. Okay? So why? I hope everything's okay. But Madison, if you're watching, you can't call me because I'm in the show. I hope you're okay. So I hope that makes sense. I mean, we have talked about it before, but I think just even more so, it's evident his ability to not just infiltrate, like become a part. He was a part of the system, an integral part of the system. He made himself a part of the system so that he could totally like upend shit and turn tables.
For anybody that hasn't read the Revenge of the Sith novelization, and I would just recommend, I mean, you should read it, but I'd recommend going to, since we're talking about Palpatine, listening to his speech, listening to the excerpt from the book on that. It's
The full
the full speech. It's pretty phenomenal and should be taught in any public speaking class, personally, or any type of class about influencing people and all that. It's an absolute masterclass, along with the movie speech too.
He had some help writing. George Lucas did, but for the most part, when you see these monologues and these speeches that these folks are giving, not Hux, that's all him, man. Like he really had an understanding of war. He had a great understanding of government, of politics, of the mythos, and how all of that intertwines. And yeah, I mean, you've got the SS being the model for the stormtroopers, and actually even calling them stormtroopers. You've got the samurai look to Vader. The list goes on. But he understood this, and the inner workings. We've mentioned this of the politics of Star Wars are what it was really about. It was, yes, the Sith taking over, but it was their empire, and then you had all these other systems that didn't want to participate. Sounds like a civil war. Oh yeah, that's what it was called, the Galactic Civil War. It's just a brilliant piece of writing. As much as we've talked about this, and in the beginning and pre-show, I was talking some shit about TPM probably being last on my list, but you guys have made some great points tonight, and I think I might have to come on board and say maybe it's not the worst one. Maybe next week will be the worst one. But
Dude, have you seen some of the lines that he cut from the prequels? Like some of the dialogue he cut is some of the best dialogue he's ever written. Literally, the dialogue he cuts when Obi-Wan goes to ask Padme where Anakin is probably the best dialogue he's ever written.
Really?
And he cut it from the movie.
There was
there was dialogue in Attack of the Clones between Anakin and Padme that was cut, and he went with the sand thing.
Yeah.
I know there was a scene in
Rough.
I think it was Revenge of the Sith that was cut where you had Bail Organa and or maybe it was Attack of the Clones. No, I don't know. It was one of those two that was a deleted scene where you had Padme, Bail, a couple other Mon Mothma all gathering, talking about, hey, this is something bad shit's going on and we need to fix this. Mon Mothma. Oh, I hate that bitch. There was.
What?
I'm sorry, man.
Wow.
Look,
What?
listen.
Man,
Listen,
What the
I got
fuck?
some angst.
What the
We'll talk about Mon Mothma when we get into episode 2, 3, or 5, 4, 5, and 6. I got some words for her. She can,
She can what? She can
you
what?
know, we'll talk
No
about
doubt.
it then. You want to
Hey,
see
are we-
Dana go out like, and I love all Star Wars, whatever. But this one,
No, he doesn't.
she has
doesn't love
got
it
to
all.
take a flying
He
leap.
doesn't love it all.
Stop
Look,
eating.
I'd
Stop.
eject her non Leia Poppins having ass out into space and then see what happens. Watch her eyeballs explode. All right.
Well, nobody should be Mary popping whatever in space. That's a
I'm
stupid
Mary
thing.
Poppins, y'all.
Ryan Johnson, you imbecile. I hope you're having a terrible day.
No. Awesome. This was great. One of the pieces that I'm gonna have us work on, us collectively, is some more engagement for you all out there, to where we can have some polls and things. We can do that within here. I just don't know how to do it yet. And have you guys involved. Like, do you really think that Jar Jar is the best? I think he's ridiculous, but are you with Team Cam or are you with Team
I think
Grand
he's.
Admiral?
I think he's pretty great, personally.
I don't know.
There we go. How to fix that?
There you go. There you go. Yeah. Fixed. Oh my goodness. All right. So we'll wrap up TPM, but from the Sith perspective, there was a lot going on. We just got a little taste. We talked a little bit tonight about what they did. No, he's not joking.
He's not joking.
He's not joking.
He's not
Janae.
joking.
Janae's
Listen to
going
the
to be our
beginning of this
guest next
after.
week. We'll talk about whatever she's got going on. I think there's some cosplay stuff.
I'm not joking, Janae. I'm not joking.
You're going to have to really.
I hate Ryan Johnson with a
Yep.
I don't dislike very many people, but he is
I
top
think she's
5
talking
for
about Jar
me.
Jar. I think she's
Oh.
talking about Jar Jar.
No, I'm not joking about that either. I love Jar Jar.
Yeah,
Goodness
agreed.
gracious. Yeah. So we'll wrap up this. It was just really cool to kind of look at that, and look how all those pieces kind of fit. Because, while we talked about Maul, we talked about Palpatine. We appreciate being able to kind of put all those pieces together in the Phantom Menace, but on that side of the house. The last thing I want to talk about in the Phantom Menace is the Neomodians.
Whatever.
All right,
Modians.
yeah.
Neo, like Keanu Reeves. Modians.
Shout out to y'all for trying, man.
All right, keep trying. I'll keep trying. And the blockade. So when we see this, we know that Palpatine is working this, right? He has to work this angle so that he can get the sympathy vote, and then we know like what he's doing and why he's doing it. Is that Chewie? What is he just?
Yeah, I poked her butt and she.
There we go. But we end up seeing how all of that kind of comes together, in that you now have oh no, there's 2 of them, right? Like he's seeing not just Palpatine, who apparently was giving the orders, or sorry, Darth Sidious was giving the orders, and we find out, and that oh no, now he has an apprentice. Where do they fit in his whole plan, other than literally like a pawn for him? Where do they fit?
There literally isn't. There's army though, right? Because they're part of the Trade Federation. Like that is them.
Mm-hmm.
It was
Yeah.
setting,
Geonosians had the arm.
setting things in motion, is what it was.
Yeah, I don't think it's that deep, honestly.
No, you think it was just, this is a chess piece I need, and so whatever happens, but I need you here right now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he anticipated the longevity of what's his name? What was the head Pneumodium guy?
Viceroy.
Viceroy, yeah.
Gunray.
New Gunray.
New
Yeah,
Gunray.
yeah. Viceroy
I
Gunray.
looked it up.
I don't think he anticipated that longevity from him. I think he thought surely he would have already had himself ended, unlived at some point.
Man, Anakin really loves killing him in the Revenge of the Sith
Oh, doesn't he?
novelization.
Oh, you can see
Oh.
it.
Oh, it's better in the
in the
book.
novelization, it's
And
even
then
more.
in the book, it's better. Yeah,
Mhm. Much better.
much better. He likes that.
Yeah.
Couple lines in there that are
Because
pretty good too.
He doesn't get it yet, does he? I'm guessing in that moment he doesn't get it that he's being played too, right?
No, he thinks it's going to be some big payoff.
Oh my
Yeah.
god! Look,
But
the dark side, folks.
he liked it though. He liked enjoyed killing every single person in that room
Yeah.
because they were behind Padme's assassination, at least in his mind.
Oh, that's true. Multiple attempts. Multiple attempts. So, Attack of the Clones. We'll wrap it up by going. Yes, he was. How old was Anakin in Attack of the Clones?
19?
19.
10-year time skip, I think.
So 10-year. He was 9, 10, or whatever at
19, 20 years old. in
whatever
episode
the Phantom Menace.
9 years old in Phantom.
So I want to talk something crazy here. Padme, he saw her and he says, "Are you an angel?" So I think for like, I don't know how to go about this. I talk about this in a weird way, but not make it weird. So I saw Splash when I was a kid. I now love mermaids. I think mermaids are awesome because Daryl Hannah was awesome, and the movie's ridiculous, but it was fun in the 80s. Do you think maybe he was just enamored and infatuated with this woman and never truly loved her? Or I don't know. I felt like he kind of that teacher student thing, an older woman, like he sees her and like this girl, like a babysitter when you're a kid. I don't know. I felt like that whole bit was a piece of the dark side in him too. That you're 10 years younger, like she's an adult, you're a child. She's not gonna look at you the same way, and you hear that in the dialogue in Attack of the Clones. Do you think that played into it too for him? And do you think Palpatine had a way of trying to keep them together?
She was only like 5 years older.
Yeah, there's
than
only
him.
a 5-year difference.
Really?
Yeah,
I think when he was
she's-
9, she was 14 or something like that.
Yeah. He was 9, she was 14.
Oh,
Only 5 years.
I don't know why George just did make them the same age. I think making Anakin a teenager in Phantom Menace makes the story more interesting.
Makes him even
Personally.
older.
That too
True.
makes it kind of less weird.
so who knows who Dengar, the
Dengar with the white.
the bounty hunter. He is in Empire Strikes Back, and yeah, he has like it's not like a turban, but he does wear a wrap because he's in the desert a lot. He actually is apparently in the Phantom Menace. He's in the pit crew. He's one of his friends. He's one of Anakin's friends.
Really?
Now, look that up, Lore Master. So, and if that's the case, and if that's true, holy cow! What a random tie-in to the Skywalker saga. Of once again, you have someone in the history of the Skywalkers. You had Dengar. You had
Greedo.
Dax. No, not Dax. What was his buddy from Tatooine? Deleted
Fister?
scenes. Huh?
Fister? What are you talking about?
Biggs. Sorry, Biggs Darklighter. Someone who is a part of his story on Tatooine, who's a part of his life on Tatooine. Luke's ends up whatever. And now we have Dengar, part of Anakin, literally on the bridge of the Executrix with Darth Vader. Anakin Scott, like they were in the pits together, and now they're in this thing together. And there's pieces of that are interwoven that I don't think a lot of folks really get all that. What Weird Al song, Janae? If you're still on.
Seriously?
What?
I'm not seeing anything about
Saga?
him.
By Weird Al?
Oh, long time ago.
There you go.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah,
by-
I got you.
She's talking about Yoda.
What?
Yoda.
No,
Oh.
no, that one's terrible. Dengar. Maybe it's not Dengar.
I know Aura Singh or whatever is.
Yeah, she.
Yeah.
Yeah, up there watching. All right, we'll figure that out. Dengar in. What was it? The Phantom. All right, we need to do better prep, Dana.
I will say Greedo was in the Phantom Menace. I'm pretty sure he had a street fight with them.
yeah, that it's a deleted scene.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I can't find it right now, but I will. But apparently, Dengar's there. And if he's not, just tell me. I'm an idiot.
I'm not seeing anything.
Fine. All right, that's it. We're
You could
done
be
with
right.
TPM. We're gonna be done with TPM. One last thing though. The pod race. Just it's not dark side, it's not light side, it's just a pod race. How cool was that? I hadn't seen anything like that. And then the game came out, and going back and revisiting it now, it doesn't age well. But at the time, oh my god! And then
One of the few games I was actually pretty good at.
nice.
Back in
Did
the
you? We had Dave and Buster's. I don't know if you guys have Dave and Buster's, kind of adult arcade, restaurant and arcade. And they would have that pod where you're sitting in Anakin's pod racer and you're, all the things. Dude, I pumped money into that machine, man. It was
Yeah,
so
I just
fun.
had the Nintendo 64.
Uh-oh. Something happened. That's all right.
Please.
Two more things for the uh-oh.
Fuck. Man, y'all making me seasick again.
I don't know why he's
That's
like, I'll be
Dana.
right back.
I'm not even touching my mouse.
I didn't do nothing. When I say two more things. So last thing, I know I said the last thing, but there was one more point. When you have Darth Maul and you have him split in half, I want to know if you were like, oh my God, that was awesome. Or was it like, oh shit, that dude was badass and Obi-Wan just kicked his like, what were your thoughts as like the moment he sliced him? But you got to know he lives because he trains Luke. But like, what are your thoughts in those moments whenever he takes down Darth Maul?
I mean, it was awesome that he got sliced in half, but then you're pissed because he was like the coolest thing you'd seen in forever. So it was kind of a love-hate thing.
Yeah. Number one Jar Jar fan?
I agree with Debbie. Verbatim.
Jar Jar hater.
Not gonna be a hater.
Boo.
No. Woo.
Boo.
Woo. I thought it was just really cool. I don't know. I thought that whole scene was cool. Granted, verbatim what Debbie said, it was kind of sad that we weren't going to see that character again, as far as we knew.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, at that time.
So moving into Attack of the Clones for next week, I want us to start that conversation now. We have a very large gap in what's happened, and we're filled in a little bit, but not a whole lot. In the novelization, or is there another book that takes place in between the Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones?
I can tell you in 2 seconds.
The reason I ask is because there is 10 years that pass in that time, roughly, or 7-8 years passed during that time.
There's I don't know if there is any, because it says what rogue planet, outbound flight, and approaching storm.
Outbound Flight was a Thrawn book, right?
I'm pretty sure it was a Zom book. So
Mm-hmm.
I brought that up last week.
There's some I know the new canon's done like cool comics with Anakin and Obi-Wan, kind of expanding that relationship more, and Anakin's trauma growing up in the Jedi Temple. But
everything that I'm seeing here for novels for canon has nothing in between the two.
So we don't know
Exactly.
truly, other than what may have been mentioned in episode 2, what has occurred between episode 1 and 2. That being said, the amount of influence that Palpatine built in that time, severe. Now, we know that Padme is now moved back into the role of
Senator.
So Palpatine is what?
He's already
He's still
yeah, he's
Chancellor.
Chancellor. Yeah.
She becomes senator because
Of
she was
Naboo.
queen. That's right. She was queen in Naboo. Her term had ended. She became senator when Palpatine became
Supreme Chancellor.
essentially,
which didn't occur till Attack of the Clones, and that's what we're going to be talking about next, right? No.
He was already Chancellor. It was giving Chancellor those powers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he is Chancellor midway through, or maybe more than midway through
It was
TPM.
the vote of no confidence for
Yeah.
Chancellor.
Yeah, Attack of the Clones, he doesn't have to take stuff to the Senate and all that to enact, like, making the clone army and all that. You know, they just are trusting in his leadership to do that. So
Awesome. Okay. Wow, that was a lot. And we probably could have still talked some more. And we can talk some more, but we're not going to talk more about the Phantom Menace here. We're going to move on. Thanks for the conversation, though. This was super cool. I can't talk enough about Maul. I think he's just a brilliantly written character, a character that is someone that's relatable. At some point in your life, you have felt like Maul rolling that damn rock up the hill. And, yeah. So, what? Sorry, about to say something. No? So we'll go ahead and close out this segment talking about TPM. Next week, we will talk about Attack of the Clones a little more in depth. We get Count Dooku. We'll bring in Tales of the Jedi and kind of that transition. There are important things that Dooku says to Obi-Wan about, I wish your master were here now. I sure could use Qui-Gon's help. Or I wish Qui-Gon was here now. I sure could use your old master's help. And we get in the Jedi, Tales of the Jedi, that relationship that Obi-Wan and Dooku had, or excuse me, Qui-Gon and Dooku had, which makes it, to me, even more sad. The whole kind of tragedy of Qui-Gon, really.
Dude, Dooku's standing in front of that tree when Yaddle comes up and talks to him, and it gets me feeling a certain type of way every time.
And then you know at the end what ends up happening, right?
He didn't even go to the funeral, man. Like,
We'll
that's
talk
wild.
about that next time.
That's crazy.
And I believe it's going to be a good session that we have next week, because we will talk about emotions a lot. About emotions. There's a lot of emotion. Love, joy, freaking anger, hate, killing, murder. There's so many things that occur in Attack of the Clones, and it's my least favorite movie. But there's a lot to talk about from a dark side perspective, so we'll do that. Folks, if you're not in the Discord, about 10 minutes after, we'll kick up Discord tonight for the first. We don't know what's going to happen. We'll just kick it up and go live and just talk. So join the Discord live tonight. If you don't have a link to our Discord server, then you need to join one of our like and follow. Just liking doesn't always work, but following does. On Facebook, we need at least 100 followers so we can broadcast there tonight. Thank you for checking on that, Cam. We got some actual Twitch rocking right now, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
And God, I don't think there's anything else. I hope not. It's late, and I know it's like really late for Debbie. It's almost like you're gonna turn into a pumpkin. It's like midnight.
Us old farts have to go to bed.
So next week we will be talking about Attack of the Clones. We will take it like this perspective, where we're really hammering on the Sith and the dark side and what's happening and the things that we can embellish on and engage with you all. So next week, be looking for a couple of questions and follow us so you can get those questions and get your comments in. And yes, we do post the comments as they come in. Mostly, I think there was a whole lot of stuff from you. Who was that? Who was it that came in and did? Andrew had all kinds of stuff, and I wasn't keeping up because I was rattling my mouth. So we'll talk about all that next week, and Janae will be on our show next week. Yay! From Geek Gauntlet, she's been on, right? And I don't know what else, but we'll have her
That's
on.
it.
That's it. Geek Gauntlet. She's geek. It's gonna be awesome. Super fun. So join us on Discord. If you don't have the link, you need to hit us on one of the social medias, and we will send you the link. Anything else? Any party shots? You got any gigs coming up, Zane?
I think I have a gig August 23rd at 7 p.m. $5 cover fee. All you have to do is just, instead of going to that gas station and getting that big Red Bull, just go straight there. And it's at Hudson's on Mercer Street in Dripping Springs, Texas.
Nice.
Highly recommend it. With Thomas Babiak in the 30 rack.
Nice. Debbie, what you got going on this week?
Thursday I'll be on Cantina Happy Hour over on Geek News Now YouTube channel. Geek News Now official. Sorry. And we are doing Star Wars hot takes.
Oh no! I might be on there.
Oh yeah, wait. Cam needs to jump on that.
I know Andrew has put some stuff on Facebook and X, and I might put something on the community thing on YouTube and see if we can get some stuff on there. And then anything, anybody in the chat, whatever their hot take is.
I saw Zane's and fell to my knees at Costco. Just threw everything that was in my hands.
But we're not going to talk about it here. You're going to have to go watch the episode to find out, maybe.
Yeah, he should go watch Cantina Happy Hour and listen to Zane's First Amendment right.
Oh my gosh.
I missed that apparently. I cannot wait.
No, it's okay. Don't worry about it.
All right. So yeah, next week we'll have Janae. We'll talk about Attack of the Clones, and be on the lookout for some merch type stuff. All of that stuff kind of gets floated in the Discord server first. So if you want first crack at that kind of stuff, jump onto our Discord server. But you're not going to get that server link unless you hit one of us on a DM on one of the socials. TikTok has been scrolling the whole time. Great job, team. What's Facebook? Oh, it's at the Sith Dominion. What about YouTube? Oh, it's at the Sith Dominion. What about TikTok? Oh, it's at the Sith Dominion. What about Twitch? It's at the Sith. Okay, so just go to any of your socials at the Sith Dominion. I will say, Debbie has started moving some content from, or duplicate. I don't know what you're doing, but we are having content on our channel that was done on the old network GNN. So the old GNN official, and she's bringing that stuff over. Also, I'm slowly getting the audio and uploading that to your favorite podcasting places. So like right now you can go to Spotify and we've got 2 or 3 episodes, like 1, 2, maybe and 3 episode, and then the episode we just got done with. So it's kind of weird because we have to kind of upload stuff weirdly for me.
I thought you were doing pods without me till I popped in and see what was going on.
Yeah, you saw the episode. Yeah, first episode 1 and 2, just Zane and I. Episode 3, Matt Thompson, great dude. He's got his own podcast. I'll pimp that too. It's super fun. I think it's the not get good. That was your thing. It was shoot, I don't remember. I'm terrible. terrible host. But Matt Thompson pops in every now and then. He's a great dude. Yeah. So we'll go ahead and close it up. It's 5 till, 3 till, whatever, 8 till. That was a lot. I will say I cannot thank you all enough for the views and for getting it. I mean, we had like 35, 40 views on the last show. That's not bad for the first show on a new channel all by itself. Now, if we had 40 plus subscribers, that'd be really awesome. But I'm not going to complain for the views. So thank you all. Seriously. Man, anything else? So you have a gig. You ain't got no, we have Cantina Happy Hour and then no Comic-Cons or anything, Debbie? No? Okay. She's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
It would require going out in public. I went to Indiana Comic Con specifically to see Hayden because that's my boy.
Is that Padme and Annie on the shirt? I heard them say earlier on the comments. It was, yeah, it is.
Ooh, with Qui-Gon in the back.
No, hold on. Trying not to knock off my cat.
No.
I can't see. Oh, Maul. Ooh,
Maul.
see, why didn't I wear my Darth Maul freaking jersey?
There goes the tax write-off.
It is tax write-off.
Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't decide whether to wear my Darth Maul one or since we were doing Phantom Menace, I thought,
Yeah. Well, and we talked about everybody in that shirt. So even you, Debbie. Get it in the shirt. Okay. Cam, what do you got this week? Any championships? Any sports?
Softball's over. I'm playing golf with my dad on Saturday, and Chad tell Dana he needs to golf with me.
I know. I'm out of town this weekend. Sorry, brother. Starting next weekend, I'll be back.
Hey, man, it don't get dark till 8:30 here.
Yes, true.
So how about you skedaddle? We go to the course and play about 5 o'clock.
We'll work it out.
Tee time's still 5:30.
Oh, yeah? But you can't get a full 18 in. You probably get, what, 15, 16 in?
Well, you could get 18 in.
You haven't played with me, and I haven't played in a decade, so there you go.
Who cares, man? We're out here to have fun, play golf.
Oh, golf. As long as we can make it 50.
Hashtag make Dana golf.
Hashtag make
better
Dana
than
golf.
Better than take off the shirt.
Take off the shirt.
That one too.
No, we're out. No, we don't need the shirt off. No. Wait. Oh, I just pushed something. What? Fire shirt.
me, my shirt.
Your shirt's
I assume.
fire.
You could be talking about your shirt, Dad.
Oh, I don't think so. Oh, this is tight, man. I like this shirt. I said tight, like I'm.
No,
some
you can't
90s
just say.
kid. We are just wasting time. You guys had a great time tonight, clearly. And it seems I drank this bottle of wine a lot slower than I did last week. So the longer the show, better off Dana's going to be with the bottle of wine. I cannot thank you all enough for the views. As I stated, I cannot thank you three enough for your help. Debbie, for everything you're doing with getting the content switched over, etc. The Discord server, Jar Jar Hater, and the boost, extra boost on our Discord server, Cam. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. We do it for Jar Jar.
Do it.
No, we don't, but it's okay.
We're done. All
Okay.
right, folks.
The ability to speak does not make you intelligent.
Qui-Gon at his finest. Love it. Great job, son. All right. I mean, retort?
No,
That's
his
a good
first.
one.
He has bad takes too. That's what the First Amendment's for.
Awesome. All right, folks. We'll see you guys next week. We'll take on Attack of the Clones from a Sith perspective. And remember, kids, that peace is a lie. There's only passion. Join us on Discord. We'll see y'all. Good night.